Roxo Media House.
Spivey in the slot right, wide outs to either side. DiMaccardo picks up the blitz. Here's Duggan. Now he's pressured. Got a flush roll to his left. Off he goes, sprinting inside the 45-40 on his feet down to the 30, down to the 20, down to the 10, and out of bounds there. Max Duggan running for his life, baby. 2:23 to go. He's got his
You are in the State of the Frogs, presented by the Railhead Smokehouse with TCU head coach Sonny Dykes. And also brought to you by Hub Fort Worth, Old Trapper Beef Jerky, Texas Health Resources, and by Cadillac. Here is the voice of the Frogs, Brian Estridge.
Welcome into State of the Frogs this week. What a 24 hours for TCU this past weekend. Big 12 championship game on Saturday at 11 a.m. Fall in overtime, 31-28, in an epic matchup between two unbelievable football teams this year. And how about the heroism of Max Duggan at the end to will his team into overtime, only to come up just short. The emotion that was displayed after that ball game from Coach Sonny Dykes and Max Duggan and TCU fans and players alike was, wow, it was gut-wrenching, was it not? And then Sunday morning at 11 o'clock. The college football playoff show, and the fact that the Horned Frogs remained at number 3 and are in the Final Four for the college football national championship. That'll happen. The Fiesta Bowl will be the first stage of it for the Frogs against the Michigan Wolverines. They're the number 2 seed. The Frogs are the number 3 seed. We're going to break that matchup down a little bit later on. We got a lot we're going to do here on State of the Frogs with head coach Sonny Dykes. First, we have to look back, a little post-mortem now. The Horned Frogs and Kansas State in that championship game, one for the ages, folks. And here are the highlights from that 31-28 loss to Kansas State right now.
8 for the Frogs. Miller stays out there. Here comes pressure from K-State. Duggan's going to throw it. Deep ball left side. Man coverage caught by Johnston across midfield. Quentin down inside the 40-yard line to the 39 of Kansas State. What a throw. Tight end to the left. Low snap. Max takes the snap. Throws it underneath, and it's caught inside the 25 of the 24. What a toss. Spivey makes it free. Out of the shotgun, Duggan with pressure over the middle, fires it. It is caught by the tight end Wiley inside the 15 and down to the 13-yard line. Enough for another. Motion across the formation. Snap comes back. Duggan throws it back, and the score is in. Tay Barber able to come up with that reception shot. He was in the slot right. Went in motion, reverse. To throw it here. Looking right-hand side. He's got man coverage. Looking for Knowles, who's got his man beat. Makes the grab inside the 20 at the 15-yard line. Great catch from Malik Knowles. Josh Newton. 4th down and 2 at the 7-yard line. Knowles in motion. Play action. Howard going to throw it in the flat. Catch is made, and it's caught for the score. Ben Sinnott, the tight end, makes a reception. And Kansas State has answered. Goes wide right-hand side. Phillip Brooks in the slot right. Bring a man in motion. Hand it off to him. That's Knowles. Running room. 45 midfield. Malik Knowles across the 45-40 into TCU territory down to the 20-yard line. Stands to the left. They hand it off to Vaughn. No, Howard rips it out of his belly. Walks in and scores. Snap comes back. Jordy gets it down. Griffin Kale gets it up, and it is good. Here's Howard throwing the football in the middle of the field. High catch is made. Touchdown, Kansas State. That's R.J. Garcia's first touchdown. Brooks signals for the fair catch. Fumbled it at the 28. It's loose on the ground. The Frogs should get this one. Still down. It looks like TCU's got it at the 30-yard line. Snap comes back. They're going to give to Miller running behind where Kendra bounces him outright. Streak continues. Kendra now with a touchdown at all. 13 game scores from 6 yards out. And just like that, the Frogs are... Howard on 3rd down, takes the snap, looks right, pressure, down he'll go, back at the 47-yard line. Actually, they'll spot him down to the 45 as D. Winters makes a hit there. 2 receivers to the left on 1st down, play action for Max. He's looking down the middle of the field, he's going to air it out. Now he comes left with it, coming back for the football is Johnston, breaks a tackle, and he stumbles in the 30-yard line. Quentin comes up with it. Max Duggan took a shot. Duggan taking his time. 8 on the play clock. Snap comes back. Pressure comes. Throws left. Looking for Johnson. It's picked off. Interception by Julius Brents. Disaster there for the Hornets. 2nd and 5. Bring a man in motion is Cade Warner across the formation. They're going to hand it off to Vaughn. He's going to come left with room. Breaks a tackle. 30, 25, 20. Makes another man miss to the 10. Touchdown. Deuce Vaughn. Barber in the slot left. Frogs need 10 for the first down. They bring an extra defensive lineman. Max fires too high, but a catch. Barber somehow hangs on at the 30 and took a shot. I mean, a shot. Gap down to 8. High snap, holds down. A kick from Griffin Cale is up, and it is good. Money from Griffin Cale. Frogs with 3 timeouts. Duggan takes the snap, going to run for it. First down and more across midfield. Takes a hit as he takes it inside the 40 and down to the 37-yard line. Max Duggan. Spivey in the slot right. Wideouts to either side. DiMaccardo picks up the blitz. Here's Duggan. Now he's pressured. Got a flush roll to his left. Off he goes. Sprinting inside the 45-40. On his feet down to the 30. Down to the 20. Down to the 10. And out of bounds there. Max Duggan running for his life, baby. 2:23 to go. He's got his Horned Frogs in position. He's making 4 to the right, 1 to the left-hand side. Duggan operating out of the shotgun, takes the snap. Quarterback keeper turns it up to the 5. Touchdown, the Magic Man. Max Duggan scores with 1:51 to go. Duggan on his own. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. DiMaccardo in the backfield. Snap comes back. Max looking, got a man wide open. Touch. Oh, it's caught. Yes. I thought that one went off the hands of Wiley. He's able to hang on. This game is tied at 28 with 1:51 to go. Snap comes back. Bring K. Barber in motion. Going to give it to Kendre. Bouncing it out right. Breaks a tackle. 20, 15. Down to the 10-yard line. Slot left. Backs to either side. Snap comes back to Max. Rolling to his left. Flushed out. Going to turn it up. Cuts back. Takes it to 1. Dives out. Reaches out. And they're going to put him just shy. Overtime. Duggan under center. Takes the snap. Turns. Gives to Miller. Left-hand side. Kendre did not get it. Held up short is Miller on 4th down now. Championship for Kansas State from the middle of the field. In overtime. Tied at 28. Snap. Hold. Kick. It's up. And it is good. Kansas State wins the Big 12.
What a gut punch for the Horned Frogs there at the end. This close, folks, to a perfect 13-0 season. And as you might imagine, the emotion was high post-game. Let's hear first from head coach Sonny Dykes.
It didn't end the way that we wanted it to, obviously. It's a hell of a football game. Got to give Kansas State a ton of credit. They did a great job. Really played clean football, as you would expect Kansas State to do. That's kind of the way they play. Love our team for battling back. Got down 8. Didn't look real good. Got down 11. Didn't look real good, and like we've done all year, we made a bunch of plays to get ourselves back in the game, and Griffin Kell did a nice job kicking a field goal. Defense got a stop just like they've done all year. Offense went down and scored just like they've done all year, and got the 2-point conversion. Was disappointed. Obviously, the way the game ended. We felt like Max scored on the scramble. I was trying to get him to replay it. I don't know what the issue was. Thought the spot wasn't right, but it is what it is. And then we got to do a better job of getting the ball in the end zone. We had 2 cracks from inside the 1-yard line, and we didn't get it done. So, we were obviously in that situation there. You got fourth and less than a yard. You got to figure out a way to get the ball in the end zone. We didn't do it, and again, you got to give Kansas State credit for getting us stopped. We just felt like Kendre's done it for us all year. You know what I mean? He's been really, really good at converting those short yardage situations. He's done it consistently. We just got a lot of confidence in him, and obviously, if we had it to do over again, we'd do it.
Coach Dykes there post-game at AT&T Stadium, still not knowing if his team was in that college football playoff. But he did know he had a winner at quarterback. The heroism displayed by Max Duggan on that Saturday may have been all it took to get Max to New York for that Heisman Trophy ceremony this weekend. Let's hear from that quarterback who almost pulled off the unthinkable against Kansas State. The emotional Max Duggan postgame from Saturday.
Guys are upset. There's a lot of emotion in the locker room. Sorry. But I think Coach Dykes talked about, we still have, wherever we go, we still have, a game to play. So it's going to hurt, let it fuel you. But, we gotta get back to work. Yeah, you just go back to preparation. You don't let any of the emotion take over. I think the O-line did a phenomenal job of, getting me right, continuing to talk to me, and just playing that play. I think it comes down to preparation of, we ran it so many times, and, be in the moment, be where your 2 feet are. A lot of pride, I think, for our fan base, for our team, if we were able to do that, there's nothing more that I wanted, to bring this school championship. Today we fell short. I didn't make enough plays to help us offensively to kind of put us in that spot, but, there's nothing more than I want is to, get to a school championship. Since my 4 years I've been here, there's been a lot of lows, at least, in a football career. And then just to be so close to bringing this school, this university, a championship, the seniors on this team, the guys that have been through a lot, I think that's what hurts the most. Is like you've been so down before, so low, to get so close and it, fall short. I think that's where it's coming from. Yeah, it's gonna hurt, but no one's gonna feel sorry for us, and I wouldn't expect anyone to feel sorry for us. So once we find out where we're going, we're gonna erase this. It's gonna hurt for a couple days, but we gotta erase it because no one else is gonna care. No one cares that we got beat today. I think the love that we got for each other, the love that we got for this university to, for this school to be proud of a team that's out there on the field. I know we came short, but this team competes. They fight for each other. They fight for this university. There's nothing more that we wanted for each other and for this school when we fell short. So we're sorry for that.
You have to feel for that young man, knowing the effort, the energy, the fortitude that he shows week in and week out. Epitomizes a leader, epitomizes what we expect out of TCU Horned Frogs. Coach Sonny Dykes knows that he's got one there that's very special. The emotion from that night was raw, folks. And then all of a sudden, that emotion was lifted. It happened on Saturday morning at 11 o'clock. We'll show you sights and sounds from that and start to break down the Frog opponent. The College Football Playoff Final Four. TCU number 3. We'll do that when State of the Frogs continues after this timeout.
Okay, just a quick note here. Georgia is going to play in Atlanta in one semifinal because you get the geographical preference number 1. That will place Michigan in the Fiesta Bowl in Phoenix. And the question is, will it be a rematch against Ohio State or someone else sitting at number 3? Let's have a look at the 3rd ranked team.
The Hub Fort Worth family is a passionate, energetic team of insurance professionals that have the same common goal in mind: helping businesses and individuals protect their health, property, and financial well-being. Their objective is to maximize the options available to businesses, families, and individuals while helping you make the choices that suit each unique situation and challenge. Their clients look to them for guidance in navigating the cumbersome world of insurance and investments. Their experience and personal relationships combined with their creativity enables them to craft solutions that fit your specific circumstances. Their guiding principle is, don't tell me how much you know, just show me how much you care. Since their founding in 1966, they've enhanced their offerings to include a comprehensive range of services, including employee benefits, property and casualty, and personal lines insurance. Follow them and learn more on their social media pages. You can find them on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn at Hub Fort Worth.
Old Trapper Beats. One-upping.
I'm a big Old Trapper fan. Not bigger than me. I love Old Trapper. I love how tender it is. Don't forget the wood smoke flavor.
What about the clear bag?
That shows you exactly what you're getting.
Savory beef.
Quality ingredients. I'm their biggest fan.
Old Trapper, what's your beef? The official beef jerky of the Big 12.
Will you sign my bag and my tattoo?
For exclusive interviews and content on TCU recruits, subscribe now at frogstoday.com. Any sport, anytime. It's your source for all things TCU. Only on frogstoday.com.
You could feel it in the room on Sunday morning there at the Legends Club as the Horned Frogs finding out that they are, in fact, in that college football playoff. Welcome back into State of the Frogs. I'm Brian Estridge. And Coach Sonny Dykes, obviously on the recruiting trail this week. He was kind enough to give us a few minutes, though, at that event on Sunday. Here he is with our very own Jamie Plunkett. Jamie?
All right, well, thanks, Brian. Standing here with head coach Sonny Dykes in the Legends Club and Suite over at Amon G. Carter Stadium. Coach, talk me through the last 18 hours coming off of that Big 12 championship overtime loss and finding out that you guys still made it in this as the 3 seed.
Yeah, it's been an emotional couple of really emotional day for everybody. I think yesterday was a tough one. Felt like it was a little bit of a gut punch to lose that game last night like we did. I know that there was a lot of regret the way things played out, but at the same time, we woke up this morning and knew that we had a chance to get in the playoff, and was just proud that we got in. And I know our players deserved it. I think that the committee obviously got it right, and we're excited for the new challenge. And I think it helped us put last night or yesterday afternoon behind us. When we got new life today, and here we go.
This is a team that's played 11 consecutive weeks of football. Now you have a couple of weeks off as you prepare for Michigan. How important is that time going to be, not only to prepare for the next game, but also to rest and recover a little bit? Yeah, we got a schedule that I feel really good about. I mean, we got to give everybody an opportunity to get away for a little bit of time. So we'll give our players a couple of days off and then get back into strength and conditioning and some football preparation. And then probably practice a week from today. So a lot going on right now. The contact period starts today in recruiting. So, our guys will be on the road, getting out and seeing high school coaches and players. And we'll have some official visits coming in this weekend and some more probably midweek. And so it's just going to be a busy couple of weeks for us. But it's an exciting time. And, and again, our guys will be excited to get back out and practice in a week. And we'll know who we're going to play. We'll have a remnants of a game plan and start finalizing that as we move forward. TCU is the first school from the state of Texas to make the college football playoffs, only the second team from the Big 12. How important is that for TCU's brand and for the conference? Well, I think it's big for TCU, certainly. I also think it's big for the Big 12. I think that, the league is on solid ground. I think the league from top to bottom is, if not the best, certainly one of the best in college football. Every week you better be ready to play. You better buckle up and play in this league. Anybody can beat anybody. So that's what makes me so proud for our guys to go through 12-0. The challenge of schedule we had, winning on the road, the places we had to go and play on the road, big games. We played in front of College Game Day 3 times this year, Fox Big Noon kickoff twice. We've had a lot of possible distractions, and the great thing about this group is they've focused on football and focused on going out and executing and doing what they're supposed to do. You know, we've talked about him all year. I've asked you about him a couple of times in relation to New York, but just talk about the impact Max Duggan has had on this team this year. 95 rushing yards and one drive to tie the game on Saturday afternoon, and potentially a Heisman finalist.
Yeah, I mean, that was inspiring stuff last night. I think, Max has inspired us all really to be the best version of ourselves that we can be. I think he's done that with our players, he's done that with our coaches, he's really done that with everybody. And I don't know what bigger compliment you can give somebody than that. And so, what he did last night was pretty special, pretty fun just to watch it and to be a part of that. And, something that I think people will remember for a long time. Disappointed we came up a little bit short, but at the same time, what he did last night was really pretty remarkable and pretty amazing. And look forward to the next month of improvement. I think Max will be the first guy that's going to be excited about having 15 practices to get ready to play against Michigan, and he'll take advantage of every one of them.
Head coach Sonny Dykes with our own Jamie Plunkett as his team now in the college football playoff. We also got a chance to hear from a couple of players. You remember the emotion we showed you from Max Duggan earlier? Well, hang on, because you're going to see a new Max today. Quentin Johnston, Steve Avila, Max Duggan all talked with us after the Frogs learned that they are, in fact, headed to the Fiesta Bowl, and we hear from them right now.
Like I said, we talk about this all the time. We weren't surprised by none of it. It's just overall, just a good feeling. We truly blessed for this. It's just a place we've never been before, so we're gonna keep fighting every day until we get there. Get a taste of that. For sure. I mean, all we need is a chance. They put us at number 3, so we're gonna take that chance. Do our best with that. For sure, I already had a feeling. I just need to see it on the board. It's very emotional for everybody, but at the end of the day, it's a blessing for us. It's huge for us, the whole TCU community. Oh, I mean, amazing job. We appreciate him very much. Obviously, this is first year. A lot of people didn't really expect the year to go, as good as it's going. So, we give a lot of props to him and his, coaching staff, helping us get to where we are right now. Like I said, we just wanted a chance to get in there, and that's what we did. So, I'm very happy with it. Overall, excited. Bunch of nerves, excited, nerves. I'm still kind of nervous from. Waiting on our name to be put on the board. I'm sweating through my jacket right now, but just overall excitement.
I mean, it's been crazy. It's been a crazy, 12 hours. We've had a lot to think about, but I mean, seeing everybody today, I feel like we're all in this together. We're all picking each other up, and obviously this made it a lot better. So we're excited that we get another shot at the championship. It's revolutionary, I guess, for the city, for the fans, for us. We work very hard, so I'm glad we get another shot at it. I've been saying it, all year. I've always been saying this, man. He's a warrior. He'll put it all on the line. I feel like he did that yesterday. He's a great guy and a great teammate, and I'm glad that I'm able to be teammates with him. I feel like he does deserve that. I mean, he's just resilient in everything he does, and I just feel like that's what embodies, being a Heisman. So I feel like he deserves it. It's going to be amazing. I mean, he's a really humble guy, so I know this is going to be a different environment for him. I just want him to know that he has, a lot of supporters, especially us, there with him in spirit. So again, it'll be exciting, to see him, get recognized as being one of the best. Look back at all we've been through and how everybody's mindset has changed through the summer and winter. And I was just thinking, is all this going to pay off? And now looking back at it, I feel like it has. Again, we still have a long way to go. So all we can do now is just prepare for the next team. I had a phone conversation with them the other day, and I just thanked them, for giving everybody an opportunity, and just opening doors for a lot of us, including myself. I couldn't be more thankful. He's a great guy. He's a great coach, and I'm glad he's here.
To be able to get an opportunity, get a shot to go to the playoff, and 2 games away from, being in the national championship and winning one. It's surreal, but we got a lot of work to do. Great Michigan team playing. It's going to be a great opportunity for us. I don't really have too many injuries, serious injuries. Just not feeling great though this morning. I'll have to be in the training room quite a bit this week. I don't know about it. During a game, I try to give everything I got out there and play as hard as I can. But that last drive, I was pretty winded, but have a lot of good guys in my corner that were getting me up, making sure I wasn't doing anything to hurt us. So, I was actually pretty nervous. I don't know, my heart was kind of beating, waiting for it, because they took so long waiting from 2 to 3. But no, it was just it's a great spot to be in. Just having the opportunity, that's all you ask for is to have a shot. It's been surreal, the culture that he brought into this program to, shift us in the right direction in a year. Shows a lot about Coach Dykes as a coach, his staff, his culture, and where this program's going. I guess that was the thing, a lot of people might say it's cliche, but we really didn't think about it. We just kept playing it week by week, practice by practice. We know if we do the right stuff during the week is that, everything will kind of take care of itself by the end of the year, and, we're sitting here at this spot. I just want to leave this place in the better spot that I can, inspire kids that want to come here, inspire this fan base, let people know that I love this school, that, our guys love this school. We're going to give everything we got to give this school a championship. It'd just be something that, this university can be proud of forever. Something that they can look back on that everyone had a hand in. Yeah, again, it's something to be proud of, and I think it's going to put this program in the right direction to be talked about on a national stage. Kids are going to come play here. Students are going to come to school here. I think it's just great for, academically, athletically, just everything about this university. Yeah, it's the same thing. I think, if you get the opportunity to be a finalist and to win it, shows a lot more about the guys that, I'm surrounded with this program, because there's a lot of guys that are in the dark that don't get the recognition that they deserve. Yeah, it's fantastic. You get to play a great program that has so much history, and that's what you want. You want to play the best, and, Michigan, they're one of the top teams in the country, but we understand that they're a great team. We got to have a great week or weeks of kind of practice and preparation, so it's gonna be a good one on New Year's Eve. It's just it's a great spot to be in, and to be in the playoff at this university in this position. It doesn't really matter what else happened, what role you're in, anything of that sort. You're just happy to be part of this team. Yeah, it's gonna be huge. I don't think a lot of people realize how much a bye week can help a team. We just went through the whole Big 12 with, without an off week, which is difficult. So to get a couple weeks off to kind of get rested, get guys healthy, kind of get away from football for a couple days, reset the mind's gonna be good for us.
Three leaders for this Horned Frog football team there, with Quentin, Steve, and Max joining us on State of the Frogs, giving you their perspective on the work to be done still for this Horned Frog football program. 12-1 on the year. The magic ride continues for TCU. When we come back here on State of the Frogs, we'll turn our attention to the Michigan Wolverines, the number 2 team in the country. First off, we're going to break down one play from that Kansas State game that's going to lead us into Michigan, because you're going to see a lot more of this on the 31st when the Frogs line up against the Wolverines. Coach David Bowden joins us next when State of the Frogs continues, but right now, more sights and sounds from that Legends Club announcement, including the Big Three, the leaders here at TCU. Sonny, Victor, Jeremiah right now.
Trapper Beefs. One-upping.
I'm a big Old Trapper fan. Not bigger than me. I love Old Trapper. I love how tender it is. Don't forget the wood smoke flavor.
What about the clear bag?
That shows you exactly what you're getting.
Savory beef.
Quality ingredients. I'm their biggest fan.
Old Trapper, what's your beef? The official beef jerky of the Big 12.
Will you sign my bag and my tattoo?
Simply the best barbecue in Fort Worth. Dine in, catering, or drive-through. 2900 Montgomery, just off I-30. Remember, the best barbecue in Fort Worth is at Railhead Smokehouse.
The Flying T Club provides the everyday TCU fan and alum the ability to specifically support TCU student athletes. Flying T Club offers 3 levels of memberships. The Flying T Club is a nonprofit organization supporting the brand development of TCU student athletes through a series of unique event-based networking opportunities, which are exclusive to our members. These events provide a great social engagement tool for our members and student athletes alike. Follow them on Instagram at Flying T Club or online at flyingtclub.com.
Simply the best barbecue in Fort Worth. Dine in, catering, or drive-through. 2900 Montgomery, just off I-30. Remember, the best barbecue in Fort Worth is at Railhead Smokehouse. Say hello to the water of tomorrow. Richard's Rainwater. Richard's Rainwater is 100% rain, refreshing, renewable, and the only ingredient we use in our water. Why rain? Because everyone deserves access to clean water, and rain is a 100% renewable resource available everywhere. Drink the rain. Save the planet. Shop now at richardsrainwater.com.
Defensive lineman, eye backfield. Sinnott is the fullback. They're going to turn, hand it off to Vaughn, and Vaughn is going to be stopped short. On the 4th down, the Frogs collapse on him.
Big 4th and 1 stop here for TCU. Really, this was able to keep the thing close. And we all know in this game for the Big 12 championship, really, if they were going to lose, they had to lose close. And of course, in overtime, they did. But it really started with a big 4th down stop here because there's 4 minutes left to go, or 4:30. TCU gets the ball back, kicks the field goal, brings it within 14-10 at half. But it really started right here. So we'll take a look at Dylan Horton. He pinches inside and gets penetration up in the field. This creates chaos. Now Deuce Vaughn has to sidestep him to get to here. Okay, Jamoy Hodge shot the gap now. He kind of looks at things cloudy or clear. So he sees it. As soon as it's clear, he's got to go right now. He's not on a blitz, but in 4th and 1, he's certainly playing on his toes. And as soon as he sees that gap open up, he takes it and starts to blow this thing up. Now, Shadrack Banks on the backside. This is big time. For a guy that doesn't have as many reps under his belt. Of course, Johnny Hodges was injured for this game. He was out. So Shadrack had to step up. He did take, as you saw on film there, he takes a false step, meaning with his right foot, okay, he's got full flow going this way. He needs to open up with his left foot. It makes a big difference. However, on this one here, even though he took a false step, he's so fast and athletic, he's still able to get over the top of that. He gets over the top and blows it up, and ultimately they hit this thing for a loss on 4th and 1. It was big time. The momentum turned at this point. TCU gets the ball back and kicks the field goal. Looking at this whole thing, they were really trying to just sort of wedge in here, old school. They brought a tackle over, so this was an extra lineman in the game to this side. Okay, this H-back right here got inside on D. Winters, and they were really trying to run an ISO play with an ISO Jamoy Hodge. He just got there too fast and brought too much to the table. And so they were celebrating after this one. Coach Sonny Dykes was fired up. They get the ball back and kick the field goal. But this is the type of football that we're going to have to see here for this Fiesta Bowl.
All right, Coach David Bowden, you broke down a 4th and 1. There's got to be some method to your madness. Why pick that play from that game on Saturday?
Yeah, I look at it. It's as we head into Michigan, that's Michigan-style football right there. And they line up in 22 personnel with 2 backs. They had a fullback, 2 tight ends. They created that 4-man surface over to the right. That's stuff you're going to see from Michigan with that big athletic offensive line and a type of football game that they're going to have to prepare for, not just in short yardage situations, but I think throughout the game. I think, Michigan's going to try and keep the TCU offense off the field, and so they're going to have to make stops like that. You look back at they've got running backs galore, right?
Yeah.
At Michigan. In fact, their running back coach now, Mike Hart, was a great one that you remember there.
Yes.
Does a really nice job with those guys. Before that, it was actually Jay Harbaugh, coach running backs. Coach Harbaugh's son.
Yeah.
He now moved over to the defensive side, but did a really good job recruiting those guys. So even with Blake Corum out right now, you've got Donovan Harris, who's doing an outstanding job. He was sort of the backup as a true freshman freshman last year. You look, before that, the year before, Hassan Haskins was the guy. And so, it's just a lineage of running backs. They're going to want to run the football, and that's what, Coach Harbaugh has done his entire career, right? If you look back to Stanford and those days, of course, with the 49ers as well.
Yeah, no question about that they're going to run the football. The thing that I saw the other night in the Big Ten championship game, and correct me if I'm wrong, when they went to that heavy personnel, that they would bring in extra offensive linemen at times at those tight end spots, and then they were huge there.
Yeah, that's them. That's right, exactly right. Yeah, they get those guys on the field, 6 and at times even 7 offensive linemen, kind of what you saw Wisconsin, back in the day and really in the last decade. So that's who they are, right? It's kind of quintessential Big Ten football. So you're going to see some big guys, and that, you have to be able to match that personnel. That's a concern for TCU right now just because of their lack of depth at the linebacker spot. They really need Johnny Hodges back. They missed him quite a bit in that Big 12 championship game.
Yet you hear Coach Harbaugh on the Zoom that we had with him on, I guess that was Sunday, he wanted to brag on Max Duggan. He tried to brag on him, but he had to preface it by saying, I love my guy. Right. Their quarterback's pretty special as well.
No, he is. And of course, that's a coach that's going to get good quarterbacks and knows how to coach good quarterbacks and knows what the, high level of play is. But you're right. He was quick to point out. I mean, it's tough not to watch that game with Max Duggan and not say, hey, that's a pretty special deal.
Defensively, he bragged on the fact that he felt like he had really good teachers on that side of the ball that have really elevated that defense at Michigan, which had not been, as good as we've seen over the years from the Wolverines.
Right, yeah. They had that stretch there with Don Brown, who's now the head coach at UMass. He went to Arizona from Michigan, who did a great job, and then just kind of sputtered out, right? Yeah. They had a big drop. So they brought in Minter from Baltimore, right. With his brother, with John Harbaugh's brother, Jay. And so they were able to, they bring him in. He's a young guy, really good, it's schematics, right? And does a nice job. And as a teacher, and one of the things they pointed out, I listened to the defensive coordinator, they sort of speak it into existence. So each week they'll have each defensive player just kind of put what they're going to do in the game, their goals, and what they're going to accomplish in that game. They do it the night before the game. Everyone stands up in front of one another. And he said it'd be amazing to go back on Monday, and they'll go ahead and say how many of those things they actually accomplished, and they've done it quite a bit. And so obviously whatever they're teaching and whatever they're preaching is translating.
The other thing that Coach Harbaugh said on that Zoom that stood out to me was he said the more physical that we make the game plan, the better our team reacts. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I think they just eat it up, right? So some teams, thrive off of tempo, right? They see the defense getting tired, and so it gets them excited, and they want to, and some, they want to make sure they spread it out, and big plays, they get excited. Well, the identity of his team is being physical, and so the more times you can play smash mouth football, the more excited they get, and they feed off of that, sort of like that shark feeding frenzy. But I also think to me that was a kind of a backhanded shot of what everyone views the Big 12 as today nowadays, which isn't accurate. I mean, we see all the great running backs coming through the Big 12 and be able to run the football. So I think they're in for a surprise there on that end. I think TCU is able to match the physicality. Again, defensively, it goes back to making sure they can get those guys healthy, both at linebacker and the back end.
I know you're early on in your film breakdown of them. Can you compare them yet to anyone that TCU has seen this year?
Well, I think really coming off K-State is probably the most accurate, comparison. A little bit bigger up front than K-State, which is tough. But I think the same similar style of play. Quarterback who does a nice job taking care of the football and distributing. And so I'd say Kansas State right now. And again, they struggle a little bit in those situations. We just saw a big stop there in 4th and 1, but eventually they sort of wore down that defense, who again didn't have many guys rolling in.
All right, let me ask you this, because the one thing that I know he wanted to make a priority at Michigan was to get more speed. They wanted to add more speed on the roster. It looks like they've done that in the little bit that I've seen them this year. Will TCU's speed, though, still be a factor? I mean, if you look at those two teams right now, is TCU the faster team?
I think so. I do. And again, part of that might be my bias with the Big 12 and the Big 10 and kind of how you look at those things. Certainly, Michigan has recruited at an elite level over the last, really Harbaugh's entire time there. So they have matched some of that speed. But I just think right now that's the one area for TCU. They're fast across the board, skill positions on defense. And so I do think they're the fastest team at the end of the day.
Okay, speaking of biases, the Vegas line early was 9. Is that right?
That's what I heard.
I think it's about 9. Is that Big 12, Big 10 biases, Michigan, TCU biases?
Yeah, and brand bias, right? Of not just the league, but the two programs.
Yeah.
I think, TCU is still viewed as sort of that little engine that could.
Yeah.
And so I think that definitely plays into it.
I did like his reference to Sonny Dykes when we brought up to him any past history. Obviously, they'd been in the Pac-12 together. And he did point out that I've always admired his strategizing. That even plays out in the little bit of time he's been around him, that he knows Sonny to be a good manager of the game.
Yeah, he does, and I think that goes into his love with analytics. And we talked to obviously the director of player personnel and Jeff Jordan, who handles analytics for TCU, and that's been something that we've discussed early on in the year, but probably even still hasn't been given enough attention, because all that stuff and all those situations and scenarios, they're practiced, they're rehearsed, and they're gone over throughout the year and throughout the week. And so they already kind of knows what's going to happen on game day. They when that situation arises, they're prepared for it because they have those answers and those analytics.
All right, good stuff there. Thank you, Coach David Bowden, joining us here on State of the Frogs for this week. By the way, be sure to look for the latest edition of Dissecting the Frogs. He'll break down that Kansas State game for you. And then as we get closer to bowl time, we'll have more insight into what Michigan presents as far as a challenge is concerned for TCU. You'll catch that here on Facing the Frogs. Also, we'll probably do another Dissecting. We're going to put him to work here for the next couple of weeks. There's no Christmas break for Coach David Bowden. For our entire crew and for the head coach, Sonny Dykes, thanks for joining us this week on this edition of State of the Frogs as TCU gets ready now for the college football playoffs. The number 3 team taking on the number 2 Michigan. We'll have more info here at Frogs Today. FrogsToday.com. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share. But most importantly, subscribe to FrogsToday.com. Have a great night.
Roxo Media House.